Her one-star acting was almost bad as her evil plan. I think what? This was 2 years ago. Have I really been wanting to watch this for 2 years? I don't know. This is like a huge problem with me. Is that like I've lost track of time first off, and second off, it's like
And
um
nine.
it's just like, dude, like I have so many videos I see that I want to watch and I never watch them. This is the problem I watch later. It's full of videos that I want to watch, but I never actually watch them because I never actually watch my watch later. And my number has increased in my watch later. Let me know if you have that problem, actually, because I don't know if everyone else has that problem or it's just me. That I just put off watching videos that are interesting. I don't know. It's such a weird problem. Anyways.
The popular true crime TV show Cops just happened to be in South Florida filming when a truly diabolical crime was committed there. And so cops captured this crime on camera. But someone in their footage was hiding something. And when you know what that something was, it becomes very obvious when you watch. But before we get into today's story, if you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious delivered in story format, then you've come to the right place because that's all we do, and we upload once or twice every week. So if that's
By the way, if you're ever like looking for a podcast, right? You're just like, dude, I want a podcast style video that's interesting. I think this is probably the best channel on the entire, like for the whole podcast genre. Like, he technically doesn't make podcasts, but like, you can definitely listen to these videos. I gotta say, dude, I don't think there's any other real like this guy. I don't know how he did it. Like, he just makes the best videos. Like, it's crazy. I'm meat riding. I need to stop. But I think it's deserved. Like, he's just got crazy. So I'm expecting great stories, my point.
of interest to you, please ask the like button if you can borrow their car for the week, and then when they say yes, spend that week driving around picking up as much roadkill as possible and packing it into their trunk. Picking up as
What?
much roadkill as you possibly can and pack it into their back seat in their trunk and then return the car. Also, please subscribe to our channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of our weekly uploads. All right, let's get into today's story. Michael DiPolito grew up in a very rough neighborhood in South Philadelphia where
Okay, does that say Diddy? I brain rot, dude. I don't even know if that's brain rot. I mean, it's just like, yeah, it's just I need to move on. Okay. I think it
violence,
does move
drugs,
on.
and prostitution were just normal parts of everyday life. At a young age, like his parents, Michael became an alcoholic. He also developed a very serious drug addiction that he paid for by selling drugs. Michael would eventually
Ooh.
drop out of high school, and not long after that, he became homeless and was living out on the streets, sleeping in abandoned buildings at night to stay
You know what I
warm.
never understood, and it's gonna sound ignorant. Well, it's probably good because I'm a safe kid. I'm raised up in the suburbs. Sheltered from evil. You could say. Basically, how does one? Okay, don't actually. I don't want anyone telling me, by the way. That would be bad. But how does one, obtain like drugs to sell, right? Like you think like, oh, do they make them? There's no way that all the people who sell drugs, right, are just making the drugs. Like they have to be getting them from somewhere. The question is where. And like the other question is, okay, this probably I don't want this answered. Okay. Well, maybe I do. I don't know. I don't know if it's even legal, but how do you find a drug dealer, right? Do you just like roam the streets and be like, "Hey, you selling anything?" To anyone who looks like he's selling things? I don't know. I don't know. It really confuses me how people find these things. But you know what? I don't plan on doing that stuff, so I don't really need the answers. Be nice to know the answers, but I don't plan on getting a drug dealer because they're too expensive. Okay, that's not even the reason. All right, move on.
In 1993, when Michael was still in South Philadelphia, he was arrested for the first time. He was charged with possession of an unknown drug as well as intent to distribute this unknown drug. Court records don't specify what drug this was. However, Michael just did not show up for court, and so a warrant was put out for his arrest. Michael would somehow manage to evade police capture, and by 1997, he had fled South Philly altogether and landed in South Florida in a town called Boca Raton. Shortly after arriving there, Michael was arrested for a second time, this time for offering an undercover police officer $15 in exchange for sex. Michael would plead.
What? That's illegal? What? Oh, because prostitution? Is prostitution illegal? Oh, God. I know people are gonna be like, oh, I know people are gonna hate on me for that, cause oh, I think it is, but I don't even know. I really have no idea, cause I guess again, I don't pay attention to these things. I'm not looking. Ooh, what's the laws? I'm assuming it is, but that's how do you accidentally like do that to a police officer? I never understood how you could pretend like usually like I'd say fake cops are usually obvious like when they're trying to get you to do things that are illegal. I feel like you have to be an idiot to actually like give a fake cop something illegal or do something illegal with them. So I don't know. It's just like how does that happen? How does that happen? The odds are so against him. This guy is just got bad odds.
Guilty to soliciting prostitution. However, he would just get released. A year after the prostitution arrest, Michael was sued by a former girlfriend named Karen Tan, who claimed he was the father of her son, and so he owed her child support.
Oh.
And Karen had a DNA test that backed up this claim. However, Michael again would just not show up for court, and before long, Karen just gave up and dropped the lawsuit.
What?
Michael was likely very relieved when this happened because at the time he was making almost no money through a temp agency. And
I
so
mean, yeah, well, now if you think about it, if he went to court, right, you showed up, you'd have to pay the court fees potentially, and also, like, how are they going to make him pay money if he has no money? I guess they'd force him to get a job or something? I don't even know if that's possible. Dude, what is this guy doing? He's just like, okay, I don't get it. Wait, how did he even move to Florida? I have no idea. I guess I forgot to listen to that part.
after this lawsuit gets dropped, Michael
I am the worst reactor. That's just official, bro. I forgot to listen. You don't say that when you're okay. You don't say those words when you're reacting to something. Like that's not something you say. Ah, God. I don't know. But this guy, I don't know. I didn't know you could just like avoid the court and just get away with it. I mean, I think how it works, by the way, I don't correct me if I'm wrong, is that basically you have a warrant for your arrest, but like if the police never like find you actively, you're never gonna. I think it depending on how severe it is, you don't actually get chased down. Like they're not hunting for you. Because I always see these cop videos of like, hey, they have a warrant for this person's arrest, and they just pull over a guy and like, oh, he has a warrant. Like you'd think, oh, if there's a warrant, then in theory he should just be hunted down to his house, right? But I guess it's not that serious. I don't get it. I never understood how people get pulled over and they're like, oh yeah, you have a warrant. I don't get it.
decides, I need to go out and make some real money. And somehow, on his quest to find a more lucrative opportunity, Michael was introduced to associates of the Bonanno family. And the Bonanno family is one of the infamous 5 families that dominates organized crime across the United States.
What?
They are literally the Italian mafia. And after the mafia met Michael, they took a liking to him.
What?
And they did offer him a more lucrative, albeit illegal, opportunity. They gave him a role inside one of their so-called boiler rooms. A boiler room is not literally a boiler room. Instead, it's a group of fraudsters that use high-pressure sales tactics to steal money from unsuspecting victims. Typically, the way it works is the fraudster will cold call someone and they will tell them that they have this great get-rich-quick scheme, but you gotta give me your money right now if you want to be a part of it. And so when the victim says, okay, that sounds great, and they wire the money along, the fraudster just
God.
steals their money. Michael, who was very charismatic and a natural salesman,
I think the problem with people, with money at least, the whole get quick rich, right? Get rich quick. Oh my God. Okay. My brain's fried. Confirmed. The whole quick rich thing, problem with that is 99% of times in life, you're not going to get rich quick. All those methods like, ooh, do the side hustle, it makes hundreds of $1,000s. Yeah, it's like playing GTA, right? All the best methods are probably already like known and abused, so then they don't. Well, I mean GTA, that's not really the case, but they nerf. Well, with GTA, for example, with heists, it's like all the best heists get nerfed to the ground, so they're like, they're okay. In real life, it's like eventually, it's like if something gets talked about, right? It's like odds are it's been done to the ground, and there's not really an easy way to make money off that method anymore because everyone rushed to it. The best way to make money is to do something original, honestly, that is like actually like great, and then hope that investors actually like your idea. I don't know. I don't know how to make money because if I did, obviously I'd be in a situation where I'd be rich. But like the point is don't just fall for those. Hey, get quick rich, get quick, get rich quick. God, get quick. Okay, get rich quick. Stop the get rich quick schemes. You know, it just they're bad. It's stupid because everyone's so desperate for money. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. That they don't think logically. They're like, ooh, millions. Ooh. Also, I hate that people. Okay, this is a side note. I hate how people, and this includes me, are nowadays like talking like, "Oh, you only have $5 million, bro." Like people like they overvalue money completely. They're like, "Oh, if you only have $1 million, bro, you're broke," kind of situation. Or get your money up. It's like, dude. Not only did most people never have $1 million, but also it's like, dude, $1 million? That's equivalent. If you had $1 million in your savings right now, not even savings, your checking account, right? You could legitimately survive for 10 years, assuming you spend $100,000 a month and nothing, no like huge crises happen, right? But no, people are stupid and they spend that money fast and whatnot. I don't know. If when you put it in that perspective, you realize, wow, $1 million, if you had $1 million, you're set. Like, dude, wow. But you know, everyone falls to the trap of thinking, oh, $1 million is nothing. I want more, 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 more. It's like you're never actually gonna get that, and you need to value money more. Okay.
got really good at tricking people into giving him their money. And so eventually, Michael
Got good
realized
at it?
he could
Oh.
make a lot more money if he started his own boiler room where his commission could be much higher on the money he stole. And so fairly abruptly, he left the mafia's boiler room. We don't really know how they reacted to this. And Michael would set up not one, but two boiler room scams of his own in South Florida. And by 2002, he had pocketed $155,000 of stolen money. However, he had spent virtually all of it on fancy hotels
Oh
and
my
cars
God. And
and
this is
phone
what I'm
sales.
talking about, bro. People I say this as if I wouldn't do this. I don't know. But like people make so much money and they just instantly spend it and then they go broke. I've watched all these financial videos, right, of like people who like have no money because they just spend all their money. Every time it's like they get their paycheck and they just spend it. I'm like, how do you do that? How do you get a paycheck or you get a check and you just immediately go, I'm gonna buy everything? Like what? Do people not think in the future? I really want to know how people spend their money. I don't know. As someone who doesn't spend a lot of money, I don't get it. Don't get it.
Sex. But the good times would not last for Michael because in 2002, the police caught on to Michael's boiler room scams and they raided them, and Michael was arrested for a third time, except this time he would go to court, he would stand trial, and he would be sentenced to 2 years in prison, 28 years of probation, and he would be ordered to pay back the $155,000 that he stole.
he's cooked.
Michael would only serve 7 months of his 2-year jail sentence, but that was more than enough to leave a huge impact on him. Michael hated prison. He hated every second of it. And so during those long sleepless nights that he was laying awake in his cell, he made a promise to himself that when he got out, when he was released, he would never, ever come back. And so in 2003, when he was released,
Watching Hall on VR 5 days in a row. What do you mean 5 days in a row? I haven't even streamed in like the last like 3 days. Okay, I'm getting distracted. I don't sure. Okay. Nah, but like, dude, this is interesting because for a lot of people, for some reason, prison doesn't seem to be a deterrence for some reason. I feel like prison for a lot of people doesn't seem to be like a good enough like consequence to their actions. I don't know why. Like you see all these people going to prison, they get out and they immediately just commit more crimes. I'm like, at least for me, as a normal, innocent white kid, adult, who's, in the suburbs, prison, that's not for me. Just had to point that out, in case you couldn't identify that I've never been to prison. That's enough of a deterrence to do anything illegal besides maybe speed. Like, it's about all I do, and you don't go to prison for speeding, so, you know. You should start one of these boiler rooms. They sound profitable. Okay, bro. India already took over all that market. Okay, that's all right. That's a little bit uncalled for, but it's kind of true. I mean, how in modern day really do you think a boiler room would work? I guess it would. I don't know. It's like everyone seems. I mean, at least the younger. See, the problem is the older generations. All the younger generations are blissfully aware of like, hey, this is a problem. then they know when a scam's a scam. But all the older people, bro, they just be forking up their money to like 10,000 different scams. You should try it. No, I'm not gonna try it. I'm a good man, you know. Gonna earn my money the right way. Also, yeah, and then if you get caught, your life is not over, but you're gonna be under surveillance. Okay, it has no super in there. It's just surveillance. You're gonna be under surveillance for like 20,000 years.
He immediately entered a sobriety program. He also started going to the gym every morning, and he began studying for his GED, which is a high school equivalency test because he didn't get his high school diploma.
Wow.
After he successfully earned his GED a couple of months later, he would also start a legal business. It was a digital marketing firm that was called Mad Money Inc. Over the next several years, Michael would do his very best to stay on the straight and narrow and not get in trouble, and for the most part, he did that. By 2008, Michael was still sober despite a few setbacks, and he was still very focused on his physical fitness and his health, and his business, Mad Money, was doing quite well, earning him
How much?
nearly $100,000 a year. But
Ooh, that's pretty solid. Well, see, $100,000. But oh, this reminds me, dude. Bowling alleys, bro. I found out bowling alleys make like no money at all. Makes me depressed. Like if you're an owner of a bowling alley, you're basically making like no money because you have to all the money you get, you just pay it straight to. I mean, this is true for a lot of businesses. You just like you assume that all these businesses, like all these restaurants and stuff, are like, oh, they're making a lot of money. No, they're not. They're not making as much money as you think, and a lot of it, all the money they make, they just pay straight to employees. It's the worst part. So like, oh, I'm the owner of a restaurant. Like, it's not as good as you think. Like this guy made $100,000 per year, but that's not his money. That's like he's probably gonna take like a fraction of that, and then the rest goes to the bills, and it just sucks. So he's not really making that much money, probably.
his love life had become a bit messy. Michael had gotten married back in 2007 to his longtime girlfriend named Maria Luongo, who had stood by him when he went to jail. But that year, in 2008, when Michael was 38 years old, he cheated on Maria with a 26-year-old real estate agent named Dalia Mohammed, who he met at a Starbucks.
Wait a second. I think I know the story. I think I know where this is going. Yeah, I think I know the story too well. Okay. I kind of... that sucks, because I actually know, I recognize the name. She's the woman who I believe tried to get the guy we've talked about the whole time murdered through an assassination attempt, but the police... Again, she told a fake cop the whole plan, so then... Yeah, okay. I don't know how that's possible, by the way. I don't know how you tell a fake cop you're planning on assassinating someone. I really don't know. This is not the story, by the way. I don't know what to say.
And instead of their affair being a quick fling, as they likely both intended it to be, Michael and Dahlia quickly fell in love. And when that happened, Michael went to his wife Maria and he told her, and then he divorced her. Just 3 days after the divorce finalized.
Okay, this is the problem. The problem is you're dealing with both of them. Well, actually, it's mainly Michael. Really, is the problem. This is a red flag, right? You divorced your wife to be with a cheater. Well, no. Well, I don't know what. Okay, never mind. Didn't he say that both of them cheated?
Real estate agent named Dalia Mohammed, who he met at a Starbucks. And instead of their affair, quickly fell in love. And when that happened...
I don't know. It's just like, dude, that's a red flag. If you're on the other side, right, your Dalia or whatever her name is, and you saw that this guy just willingly dumped his stupid wife to be with you, it's like, dude, why would you want to be with him? Because now it's like, oh, well, is he just going to dump you for a random girl he sees at Home Depot? Which is a very weird place, but, that's the first place that came to mind. I don't know, like, it's really weird that people just seem to be ignorant of this stuff, because, love, love, love.
Michael went to his wife Maria and he told her, and then he divorced her. Just 3 days after the divorce finalized, Michael and Dahlia went to the courthouse and they got married. The newlyweds would move into a brand new condo that Michael had purchased for them in Boynton Beach, which is a beautiful town in South Florida. And for a time, their life was perfect. They knew it was a little outrageous the way they had met each other and how quickly they had fallen for each other, but they didn't care. They got along great and they were excited about the future. But their perfect life would not last long. On the evening of March 12th, 2009, so only about a month after they had gotten married, Michael and Dahlia were at home in their condo when they heard a knock on the front door. And so Michael went to the door, he opened it up, and much to his surprise, standing on the other side was his probation officer, and behind him was a whole bunch of police officers.
Wait, why is he on probation for? Drugs? I don't know why. Wait, why did he... Oh, dude. Oh, yeah, he got caught for... Wait, yeah, why is he on probation? That doesn't even make sense. He's on probation because he committed a scam, right? He committed a scam, he stole a bunch of money. Okay, yeah, but why are you on probation? That doesn't even make sense for what? Actually, I don't know.
And before Michael could even ask what was going on, the probation officer told Michael that they had received an anonymous call tipping them off that Michael was selling steroids and ecstasy pills and other drugs out of his condo. Michael would tell the probation officer that there was no way that was true. He is not selling any drugs. He's sober. He's not doing that. And so eventually Michael just stepped aside and said, please come in, search my condo. I have nothing to hide. And so sure enough, the police, they would go into his condo, they would search it, but they wouldn't find anything and they would leave. And so after the police had gone, Michael and Dahlia found themselves just standing in their condo, completely dumbfounded. But instead of trying to get to the bottom of it right then and there about who had called and why, they just decided it was best for them to just leave their condo for the night and go stay at a nice hotel. And so they packed up some bags, they left their condo, which was a total mess from the police search, and they went to the hotel.
Okay, so isn't it illegal? No, it's not, is it? It is illegal to commit scam, well, not scam calls, like, you know, like fake calls to 911, like, you know, make a fake claim, right? I don't know what it's called. I know there's a word to it, right? So in theory, right, if the cops were actually good, they would just, you know, go, oh, let's track who's calling, because fun fact, you can track who's calling you no matter what. You can legitimately have, like, you know, you could use that star or whatever, 67 or whatever that, I have no idea what it is, because I never was an evil kid. I don't know how many times I stressed that I was a white suburban kid, right? Well, white suburban kids actually usually did the prank calling. I never did. I found it stupid. But the point is, whatever it is, star 67 or whatever it's called, you could still get tracked from that, so it doesn't matter. So in theory, this could all be stopped. Oh, I wonder who did it, because I actually know who probably did it. It's probably the wife. I think that's how the story goes, but I don't know. Right, so then they would discover, hey, the wife did it, and suddenly, oh, wow, why are you doing that? And then there's a lot of things like ooh, divorce, maybe arrests, I don't know. But instead, they decide to ignore it. Because it's obviously a fake call, like, you know?
And they had a nice night together. The next morning, when they got up and headed down to the parking lot, they saw up ahead, standing around Michael's car, was Michael's probation officer as well as several other police officers. And so Michael and Dahlia are looking at each other like, what is this, again? And so they hustle on over to Michael's car, and before they can even plead their innocence to Michael's probation officer, he stops Michael and just says, look, we got another anonymous call, this time telling us that you are selling drugs out of your vehicle, and so we need to search it. And so Michael is just totally beside himself, but he says, look, go ahead, search it. There's nothing in the car. And so sure enough, the police would open up his car, they'd rip it apart, but again, they wouldn't find anything. Over the next couple of weeks, the only thing Michael and Dahlia ever wanted to talk about was what the heck was going on. Who is placing these anonymous calls claiming that Michael was selling drugs out of the condo?
Why are you talking about M's in your bank account? Okay. People be, okay, I know. See, the problem is, I actually, like that. I don't like the song, but I use it to troll people. Dude, that song, by the way, the whole 21 Savage, M's in my bank account, let me tell you, it's the greatest way to make people think you're just like just stupid. Just randomly in the middle of a conversation, be like, yeah, I got M's in my bank account, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you just say the song, right, the hook, and suddenly everyone's like, whoa, whoa, this guy's delusional as hell, because, you know, people are like, wow, you just randomly got money on the mind, but no plan. You just say, well, I got M's in my bank account this year, and then it's just like, if you want to trick people or confuse people, it's the easiest way, really. Just randomly bust out the good old-fashioned 21 Savage song, and but like say it yourself, you know. It's not really relevant to anything at all, so again, horrible reaction. There you go. Might be the world's worst reactor.
window and out of the car. It just didn't add up. They wanted to believe that this was all just one big mistake, but in the back of both of their minds, they were thinking about Michael's very checkered past and his previous dealings with the mafia and with people he had clearly ripped off. And so maybe there was someone in his past that was looking to get back at Michael and maybe get him arrested and sent back to jail. Fast forward to
Yeah,
March.
but if they wanted to, okay, let's be honest. If you're trying to get someone put in jail, the easiest way to do it is just swat them. You know, that's I'll get like, you know, call what do they call it? I know it's swatting, but that's not like what it is calling. Like, you know, streamers have this happen all the time where, you know, oh, there's someone getting shot in the house. I heard shots fired, and then boom. If someone wanted to actually get you like killed or like arrested or potentially like put in a situation that's just not optimal, right? Just tell them, hey, the house is got kidnapped. There's kidnaps. Okay, I cannot coherently form a sentence. It is really bothering me. Okay, let's try that again. I don't even remember what I was gonna say. Okay, so this is the problem. Like, I'm so focused on like how stupid I'm sounding. No, the point is like basically just call a SWAT team to the house. Get a SWAT team going. Just tell him like, hey, he's armed and dangerous. And then, you know, maybe he makes a dumb move and he gets shot to death, you know? The problem with saying that, by the way, is that's just I'm basically giving ideas to people, and no, I don't plan on doing that ever. I think people who SWAT streamers are weird, because why would you, you know what, that's a good question. What do you gain from swatting a streamer? Like, all you're doing is just saying, hey, there's a like, you just want the streamer to have a bad day. That's basically all you want. Like, dude, like, I don't know, donate like $500 and spam this donation chat with like 20,000 T's if you want him to have a bad day. Don't just. I know $500 is excessive, but you could easily just donate $5 and spam the chat, right? I mean, who's gonna stop a man who's donating money from speaking? You know, he's not gonna mute you or ban you for donating. If he does, that's a bad streamer, by the way. You sound like expert on crime. Do you have past experience? I do not have. Okay, Dude, this guy's trolling me, dude. I'm not stupid. I literally have identified myself as a suburban white kid, bro. What suburban white kid has committed crime? The worst crime he's committed is saying maybe the N-word, and I'm not even saying I have said that. Um, you know, that's probably the worst crime a suburban white kid could commit, let's be honest. Ooh, he said the N-word. Oh, he might have sped. Maybe he went speeding. Maybe, okay, that actually applies to me, you know, speeding down, like, a road. Oh, he went 20 over the speed limit. You know, okay, sure, like, that's not that bad. I mean, it's technically a felony in some states. Let's not go there, though, like, you know, I live in Chicago. Yeah, I live near Chicago. I don't live in Chicago, bro. Like, okay, that's the first misconception. And you saw me smoking blunts with a... Okay, bro. Okay, I'm not smoking blunts, bro. Dude, I've never smoked. You know, the proof would be, and this is the best way to prove you never smoked. Smoke your first joint or your first, you know, cigar or whatever. Smoke something for the first time, but do it on stream and see how much I cough. You could argue, oh, you fake coughing. No, 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 no. You would know I'd be real coughing. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna start an addiction to cigarettes because I want to prove, oh, I don't smoke cigarettes. Because then it'd be like, ooh, I like the high. Ooh. Or would smoke weed. Ooh, I like how it makes me feel. That's the problem. I have an addictive personality, so I would just immediately get addicted after that happens, and then next thing you know, you see me smoking a blunt every single time I stream. Like, that would be great. Actually, um, cigar smoke smells like coyote piss. I've never, I don't think I've ever smelled cigars, honestly. I can't identify a cigar. I don't think I've ever really seen anyone besides online like smoke cigars. Like, I just don't know anyone who does that. I'm not gonna lie though, if I was, I can say that. If I was gonna smoke something, it'd probably be weed, just because, you know, is it the best? Like, it's still not great for you fully, but like, out of all the options, it's probably the best. Honestly though, if I was trying to get high, probably just take edibles at that point, because, you know, I'd rather take an edible. That's why I don't understand. Why do people not take edibles? I guess it's easy to overdose on them. That's the problem. It's like, hey, oh, I just took 500 milligrams of THC or whatever it's called, right? By accident. Like, yeah. But the point is if I was trying to get high, I'd just take edibles because, you know, the whole smoke ingestion of your lungs. Nope, nope, nope. That's just like that's room for destroying your lungs. And people try to argue, well, weed smoking doesn't damage your lungs that badly. Well, it's still smoking. You're not supposed to inhale smoke ever. Like, who told you that inhaling smoke is good? Like, no one. It's why when there's a fire in your house, like you don't want to inhale smoke. You want to get on the ground as low as possible to, not inhale the smoke. Who smokes nowadays, by the way, is crazy. By the way, there's a lot of stoners out there. 420, dude. Who celebrates 420? Say it with me, 420. Okay, I've always said this, by the way. This is my take. If you celebrate 420, you're stupid because you basically that means you've already smoked like you smoke somewhat often. Hey, it's 420, time to smoke. It's like, dude, you already do that so like often, clearly, because no normal person is like, I'm only gonna smoke 1 day a year. It's like that's stupid. Why would you ever smoke 1 day a year? It's such a stupid holiday. Just hey, get those people who are already potheads and going crazy more, having a good time. No, I don't really mind it, to be honest. Like I don't care, and it doesn't affect me. Like I don't care if people smoke at all. Who cares? Give me your nerd voice impression. Also, the cigar smoke smells very earthy, richy, and smoky. Okay, sure. You just said it smelled. Wait, you just said it smelled like coyote piss. Okay, whatever. Nerd voice? I'm a nerd. Oh. Okay, enough. Just okay. See, I've been paused for like probably like 5 minutes. I don't even remember what's happening in the video. Gotta lock in. The problem is I think I know the story, so I probably should just, not react to the. Yeah, see, yep. See, I just saw that. I know exactly what's gonna happen then. I don't know all the details leading up to this, but I know what the end result's probably gonna be. Actually, okay.
29th, so 17 days after that first raid on their condo. And that night, Michael and Dahlia had been eating dinner at a restaurant. And when they left and headed out to the parking lot, once again, standing around Michael's car were several police officers clearly waiting for him to return.
There's my problem with this whole thing. Is that, like, dude, I've seen, like, people get arrested for, like, prank calling the police or, like, like, false calls, right? And it happens multiple times, right? It's not like one time, oh, you're gonna investigate. But this happened 3 times now, right? So in theory, of course, they should be tracking who's calling because, it's 3 times. 3 times you're out kind of strategy, baseball. Ooh, is it 3 times? Yeah, it's 3 times you're out. Yeah, okay. It's 4 fouls. I don't watch baseball. Don't play it, so that's why I'm stupid with that stuff. Don't worry about that. The point is like, 3 strikes you're out exists for a reason, because it's 3 times too many. Maybe they used a VPN. That's not how calling works. Oh my god. Okay. They still can like identify where the number's coming from. You know? I don't know. The government and the police force has like they basically say stop saying basically. I said basically there twice in the span of like less than 5 words. Like it's crazy. Basically, like enough. Nah, but like actually though, like the government and the police force have like way too many easy ways to just track your phone. Like the only way to get your phone to not be like trackable is by basically breaking it or like completely shutting it off and hoping that it actually works, which that's not even guaranteed to work. So yeah, it's not great. They use NordVPN. Hey, NordVPN. Speaking of sponsorships, that's my sponsor. I have not seen a NordVPN sponsor in a long time, by the way. What's happening with that? What's happening? A lot of the sponsors I used to see are gone, honestly. Like, where's Raid Shadow Legends? I've never seen that in a while. I'm not complaining, really, because they're always stupid. I don't know.
And so without even needing to ask why they were there.
Throw your phone in a river so the feds won't hunt you. But that makes you look suspicious. That's the problem. Because now it's like, oh, we tracked you near a river, right? They tracked your, like, because they can use the cell tower information that, to figure out where you, like, project where you were. And they'll see, oh, you were at a river, and now we can't track you. Oh, I wonder if they did something bad at a river. Okay, so now we know we have a problem, right? If you're trying to look unsuspicious, I mean, you should, well, I don't know. I don't know what you could do here because why? I mean, just don't do this. Don't call the police and say something stupid and know it's false. Don't say like, "Oh, I'm being shot" when there's literally no shots. Kind of situation. Burner phone, bro. God, burner phones. Okay, that's not how that works. I guess the only way I can think of is like use like like an old flip phone is probably the easiest way to do this. But like, who has flip phones nowadays? I don't even know if you can buy them really. Like, you probably have to go on eBay and find a flip phone. I never actually owned a flip phone, so I have no idea how they work either. I think I heard somewhere that like, yeah, flip phones are the best way. I'm pretty sure to go undetected, still use your phone. I think they said like FBI officials or something use flip phones, or I don't know. I don't remember. The Nokia 3310. Okay, I don't even know if I said that right. It's a good alternative for weaponry and privacy from the ops. Okay. The second crime that every white suburban kid has committed is saying the word ops just stupidly. I've done this, and I think everyone has. They act like they have ops, or they say, "Ooh, the ops are coming after me," when there's no one who hates on them. Okay, it's just true. Okay, that's the second crime every white suburban kid has committed. Put that in your list. You know, put that in your little book of crimes every white suburban kid has committed.
Michael and Dahlia, they go over to them and they just start pleading with them to understand that this is a setup. We do not have drugs in this car. We don't know what's going on here. Please, you got to understand that someone's doing this to us. But this time, when they searched his car, they would find something.
Oh!
Before we go any further, I want to
This shopper guy. See, now, dude, the amount of videos, dude. Oh, no, okay. What happened? Why is it like this? Oh, how do I fix this? Wait, what? You know what's funny? I already discovered this feature like probably like a month ago too. And I got shocked last time this happened, but nope, 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 I forgot again. Okay. I think that's pretty cool. Anyways, skip, skip, skip. What did it say? NordVPN? No, Experian? Credit cards? Yeah, I'm good off that. Yeah, I'm good. I never understood why people like why companies, you know, dark. Okay. All right, dude. I don't believe in that. There's no way. Like, oh yeah, we're just immediately detecting anything that's from the dark web. You don't know. You might find some stuff, but there's no way. It's just, and also dark web's overhyped. I don't know. That just seems fishy. Nah, but like, why is it that like these companies? I never understood why do people spend so much money on advertising, right? Because I don't know about you, but advertising's like I've never like watched an ad and said, "Oh my God, I'm buying this right now." Like, you know, maybe like once in a while, maybe. I can't even think of a time I watched an ad and said, "I'm buying this" or "I'm planning on buying this." Besides, like, I don't know. I can't think of anything. Like maybe like a Coca-Cola ad made me think, "Ooh, I'm thirsty for a Coca-Cola," right? That's it. I've never bought a Coca-Cola because of a Coca-Cola ad. That's why I don't get. Why did Coca-Cola have ads? Why does Pepsi have ads? Like everyone knows about them. There's no people who are like, oh my God, I just saw this ad of this mysterious drink called Pepsi. I've never heard of it. I better try it. It looks so delicious. That person was gulping it with such like, just their face was like looking so like replenished. I need to try it. No, everyone knows what it is. Like, why are you spending all this money on ads? It's just a waste of money. You never know. You never know. Well, I mean, okay, maybe someone who moves to the United States and was in like some weird country, I guess, but like that's such a small population. Countries restrict pops because of their high sugar content. Okay, okay, what? What is it? That doesn't make sense. That means it just, oh yeah, the ads in that country are going to people who can't even use it. Like what? North Korea, Russia, Cuba restricts them? What does that have to do with? Okay, I don't know. I'm confused. I guess you're saying, ooh, the people migrated or immigrated from Cuba. Oh, wow, they don't know what a Coca-Cola is. Okay, cool. I don't know. And then you got the, you know, the beers. You know, every single time I see a beer ad, I'm just like, dude, like, you know, I guess, no, the beer thing I get actually, because now I think about it, it's like if I was gonna ever try beer, or I was gonna decide to be now, you know, start drinking alcohol, it's like, ooh, I have a map or a plan of like, hey, this is why I saw. So I guess those ads were effective, but because it's like, ooh, what was it called? See, the problems I don't even know what it's called. Oh God, it was called Bud Light. That's the one I heard is not great, but you know, the point is like, hey, you know, that's the one I see all the time. Must be great. Budweiser too, you know. I'm not. I'm getting so off topic. You drink your... Oh, dude, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I know what that is. It's great.
car, the police would find a small bag of cocaine stuck inside of
Oh,
a
no, my original point, though, is why do people put sponsorships in videos? Like, how many views does this have? 6 million. But, like, people be getting sponsorships. I guarantee you, because I feel like most people watch YouTube, when they get a sponsorship, like they see a sponsorship, they immediately just skip that part. I mean, if you follow the trends, not this video, well, actually this video, because there's a slight bump in retention, whatever. But like a lot of times when there's sponsorship, you can just click the jump ahead part, and it just immediately skips that part, right? Because so many people skip it. So my question is, why do companies spend all this money on sponsorships if they should at least know, like, hey, most people are not going to even acknowledge it. And the people who do acknowledge it are probably not going to buy it because it's not the right audience. Install Honey from Chrome extensions to get the best codes from the ultimate discount. Oh yeah. I think I watched a video. Yeah, I did watch a video why that was bad. I don't even remember why. Oh, see, I have such bad memory. I'm supposed to know why I was evil. Because it did something wrong. I don't even know what.
cigarette carton tucked underneath his spare tire in the trunk. And when Michael saw them pull the cocaine tucked underneath,
Cocaine in a cigarette carton. It's very weird.
find a small bag of cocaine stuck inside of a cigarette carton tucked underneath his spare tire in the trunk. And when Michael saw them pull the cocaine out, he began to cry because he knew, even though it was not his and he had not put it there, that he was going to jail because he was going to get arrested for possession and he was on probation and he was screwed. And so he just begins crying and pleading with police to understand that the cocaine was not his. He swears it's not his. Meanwhile, Dahlia, she's looking at the drugs and now she's second guessing herself. Is Michael lying? Is he actually selling drugs? And he's been lying to me too? But when she sees her husband crying hysterically and looking so sincere, she believes that he's got to be telling the truth. And so pretty soon she was standing beside Michael and pleading with police as well to let them go, that this was totally just a setup. And amazingly, these police officers who were aware of the previous raids on Michael and Dahlia's property, they told them, look, we do think this is pretty suspicious that somebody keeps calling in about you selling drugs and now magically the drugs are in your car. And so what we're going to do is we're going to confiscate this cocaine. We're not going to arrest you.
Okay, notice how, and this is hindsight because I know it's going to happen, but notice how... Well, I don't know all the details leading up to it, but I know what the end story is. Basically, just notice how the wife, or girlfriend or whatever she is like, this all happened when they started getting together, right? That's, you just gotta look at that. Yeah, that's suspicious, but that is hindsight bias. That's the problem. Hindsight bias is the problem. If people act like, oh, wow, I saw that coming from a mile away after they know what the plot is. I don't even know why I'm reacting to this video. I know what's gonna happen, but, like, it's like the details. I've never heard these details. That's the thing. So it's like, ooh. I just, like, all this? I don't know. I don't know about this. Like, what? There's, like, stinger operations? Like, what is happening?
Instead, go home, be safe, call us if you see anything strange, you hear anything strange, and we're going to begin investigating to figure out who is making all of these calls. And so Michael and Dahlia were totally relieved to hear this, but at the same time, they were kind of terrified because clearly whoever was looking to get Michael in trouble now was prepared to break into his property in order to do it. And so what was stopping them from breaking into their condo and planting drugs in there as well? And so after these police officers left, Michael and Dahlia hopped in the car, they sped back to their condo, and they went inside and they searched it top to bottom, looking for any sign that anyone had recently been in there or if there were drugs or anything illegal inside of their condo. And after looking and finding nothing, they just locked their doors, shut their windows, shut the blinds, and just prayed that the police would be able to quickly identify who was doing this to them and make them stop. But over the next few months, the police would not figure out who this anonymous caller.
Oh, you know what I just remembered? Ooh, this is back in the day. Okay, it's not even that far. I was alive when this happened, so I shouldn't say back in the day. Well, I say, you know what? Back in the day does apply, because that was a long time ago. Back in my day is really relevant, because, when I was 1, that's back in my day, kind of situation. Doesn't matter how old you are. If you're older than the age of, like, 14, you have the permission to say back in my day when speaking back in, like, when you were 5, Anyways, that's just my point of view, okay? Anyways, the point is this is around the time before the iPhone, so like there wasn't really tracking, as much as prevalent as now, because the iPhone it's just easier than ever to track people. That's why the whole anonymous thing actually worked, which makes a lot more sense, because they said this happened in like 2008 or something, which makes yeah, no, that makes perfect sense then.
Was because the caller stopped calling. And so for a little while, Michael and Dahlia were convinced that the whole ordeal was over and done with, and they basically returned to their normal lives. But on August 5th, 2009, roughly 4 months after the cocaine was found in Michael's car, the anonymous caller would come back with a vengeance. On that morning at around 5:45 a.m., Dahlia left the condo, leaving Michael in bed, and she headed out to the local gym to get a workout in. Around 6:30 in the morning, she stepped off the treadmill and she looked at her phone and she saw she had a missed call from a number she didn't recognize, and this number had left her a voicemail. And so she calls her voicemail, she puts it to her ear, and as she's listening, her heart starts to race because it was a Boynton Beach detective telling her there had been some sort of incident at her condo and she needed to come back right away. Terrified, Dahlia grabbed her things and she ran out of the gym, she got in her car, and she called this number back. And when the detective picked up, she tried to get more information from him about what this incident was, what happened. And the detective would only say that it involved her husband, and he would explain everything when she came back. And so in a total state of shock, Dahlia turned on her car and she sped out of the parking lot and she headed back towards her condo. And when she turned onto her street and saw her condo, she hit the brakes and just stared. In front of her condo were all these police cars with their lights on, and police officers were walking around, and yellow crime scene tape.
What would you do if that happened and you're like, you're just living casually in the suburbs, the neighbor next door has 10,000 police officers just roaming around. What would you do? Would you be a peeper? Because honestly, I'd be a peeper. I wouldn't go as far though. I'm gonna be honest. I wouldn't go as far as to be asking, hey, what's going on? Because I feel like that's just way too nosy. And they'd probably be like, hey, none of your business. Go back inside. And, but like, it's just like when something like I don't know. It's just like I don't know what most people do. I feel like they're just peep. It's probably the best method. Bro was calling back in my day. Put a grandpa in a wheelchair emoji. Like, dude, I'm not a grandpa, and I'm not in a wheelchair. You know. Never mind. I'm not gonna say anything about that. Okay. Nah, but yeah. So that I don't know. I'd be scared to leave the house. Also, I never understood how construction is legally allowed to happen right in front of people's driveways. You ever just like roam around and see like, hey, there's whole street where people live is just torn up and blocked off. Like, where are they supposed to go? I don't understand. It's so off topic, but it's kind of relevant because police officers will do the same thing, block off a whole road because they're investigating something, right? It's like, what are you supposed to do? Oh, it's an emergency. I need to go home. Oh, no, I can't. Like, what? I'm a basement goblin. Okay, what does that even mean? Basement goblin? Okay, I get the word basement, but goblin? Like, really? Just saying words.
Was lining the outside of her property, and inside of the taped off area there were all these crime scene photographers taking pictures of her condo. And so as Dahlia is sitting in her car at the top of the street just staring at this crazy scene she's seeing, one of the Boynton Beach police officers sees her and walks up, and after confirming that she was Dahlia Dippolito, he said to her, leave your car here and come with me. And so Dahlia, who knows obviously something bad has happened but really doesn't know the extent of it, she puts
Yeah, okay, so we're just talking about goblins from Clash of Clans or Clash Royale. Now, by the way, I know this story. I know where this is going. So basically what happens, to sum this up, because I don't really want to watch the full thing. I feel bad, so I'll just have a link in the, when this turns into a video, I'll have the link of the original video in the description, so you can watch the whole thing. But basically, they talk to her, she fake cries, and let's just pull up this. She fake cries, they tell her, oh, your husband was murdered. She was in a plot of an assassination attempt, right? They don't, but like he actually is fine because it didn't actually happen.
Get over here. Get over here.
Or it could be any number of other people that Michael had done wrong in the past. And so the detective, he's taking diligent notes.
Imagine playing the victim. The thing is, I'm so sick of victims. You know, people be playing the victim card in just such stupid scenarios. Be like, I like the most common one I'm seeing is recent is like people who like, you know, they just are bad drivers and they get in a crash and they're like, oh my God, I didn't see. Oh, it's a bad day today. You know, I just broke my arm. I don't even know how I was driving. Like, I don't know. I've never saw that, so I don't know why I said that. I just made up a random scenario. That probably has happened at some point. Some idiot probably made up an excuse. I broke my leg when I was driving. Like, that's probably the excuse they made. Anyways,
He's
enough.
listening to Dahlia, and then at some point in a break in the conversation, he says to Dahlia, okay, it's time to get serious. I need to know if you know this guy. And so Dahlia, she was kind of looking down and she looks up, confused what he's talking about. And then the door opens and this huge guy in handcuffs walks into the room.
Come here. Bring this guy in here.
Of course, it's a big guy too.
Get over here. Get over here. You know who this guy is? You never seen?
Define big. I don't know if that's really. I mean, he's tall. I don't know. Big is the thing about big is you think of like, you know, like a football player who's like 6'3", 6'4", who's like really, really heavy, you know? You know, he's running full speed, you're dead. Like he tackles you, you die kind of situation. I mean, obviously, okay, if you get tackled by a 6'3", like, I don't know, 400-pound man, 400 pounds is ridiculous, but like, you know, kind of situation like that, it's like, dude, you're not really in a good situation. The average person's probably gonna break bones or ribs or some kind of situation. Reminds me of that one video where a female runner bonks the opponent with a metal baton and acts like if that was an accident. I've literally never saw that before. Oh my god, I just saw a video. Oh my god. This is what I'm talking the whole victim thing, by the way. This is what I'm talking about. So basically, this guy was on a highway and there's a whole like bike race, right, happening on the side. They're outside of the bike lane, they're in his lane, and he says, "You're in my lane," and he just runs them all over. And then he acts like he's the victim because they were in his lane. They weren't in the bike lane. They were using my lane. My lane, my way, like kind of situation. That was like the dumbest video I've ever seen in my life. And people find ways to play the victim in such stupid scenarios. Like that is obviously your fault. Even if something is going on, like let's just say there's a brake checker, you have no real, there's no real. I mean, I guess you can justify like just smashing the guy, but like, and you can play the victim as like, ooh, this guy's brake checking me, but like at the same time, dude, it's like you could have just pulled over, or you know, put on your hazards and stopped moving, and this problem would solve itself, you know. Um, this is one I'm talking about. It has blown up lately through social media. Well, you didn't send the link. Oh, you did. Okay. Click the link. Alright, let's pull this up. I don't really like watching all being distracted this much, but I mean this video is already distracted. I don't know why I can't English. High school runner defends herself after baton hit incident.
Morning, Alayla Everett,
Why is the audio in my left ear? Please explain.
the track star at the center of that viral video showing her
What?
daring to hit another runner in the head with the baton, is speaking out.
I would never do that.
Why? I would never do that. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. These people really think they're innocent. Like, oh, I'm gonna get away with it. Like, dude, really? You're on video doing it. Like,
Baton,
your number is on that shirt. Like, the people in the audience could have read your number and last name probably and just said, "Oh, I know who that is." Like, you can't act like you didn't do it.
is speaking out.
I would never do that on purpose. That's not.
Oh, you said it never on purpose. Oh, okay, never mind. Well, this is what's funny. What scenario do you need a baton in a race, though? Like, I would never do it on purpose. Well, if you did it on accident, why are you accidentally carrying a baton? Like, what? I don't get it. I don't get how you don't even notice there's a baton, like someone carrying a baton in the race. Like, I don't know. Fingers slipped. That's the type of thing you say when, like, ooh, I accidentally shot my teammate in Call of Duty or something. Oh, my finger slipped. But you can't argue that here.
Everett says the incident is a complete misunderstanding, pointing to another angle of the race as proof.
The baton was literally like her arm was literally hitting the baton like this until she got a little ahead.
Why is the quality so bad? Is it like, oh, dude, why? What?
Like this.
Bro, what the hell? This is ABC7 and they're stupid 360p. What is happening? I've never seen that. Okay, that's great to hear. No, let me rewatch that quickly because I don't know.
Literally, like her arm was.
I can't even tell if you're hitting though. Like, oh, hello.
Of the race is proof.
See, it doesn't even
The
look like
baton
she's
was
hitting.
literally,
I don't
like,
know.
her arm was.
At
her
that
arm
angle
was
looks like nothing happened. Stick drift. Okay. Imagine if this was a simulation. Imagine if life was a simulation though, and someone actually was playing that character, right? Playing this character, in their own like it was VR for them, right? And they had stick drift on their controller. Now that would be crazy. I'm not going into simulation theory though. The first leg runners start with crouch start. Baton is pushed vertically by the incoming runner to the ongoing runner, extended hand. Teammates rely on spoken words to organize passes. Oh, so it was one. Oh, wait, so this was a run where you have to pass the baton? I don't know.
literally.
No, because those races you usually have someone standing like on a line, and then like when they get the baton, they run forwards kind of situation. Like they have their hands extended back, you know? They're not like both running at the same time usually.
Hitting the baton
Dude,
like
what is this quality?
until she
And who are
got
these people?
a little ahead and my arm got stuck like this.
In the video, Everett is seen on the inside
Yeah, no, that just looks like you
of the
purposely.
track running the 4x200 relay at the Virginia State High School League Championships when Junior
Oh, it is a
Kalen
baton
Tucker
race. That's wait.
came around the outside on the corner.
That's when she hit me with the baton. I just felt a bang on my head and then I fell off the track immediately.
Kaylin dropping her baton and reaching for her head. She was later diagnosed with a concussion.
What? Okay. Yeah, if you have a concussion from that situation, you definitely did that on purpose. There's no question in my mind kind of situation. Like, yeah, you don't just accidentally give someone a concussion, you know? That's not happening. Why is your name red? What does that even mean? Why? Okay, we got another problem called my stream quality is never mind, my stream is fine. Bro is so late to the baton incident, bro. Okay, is this like a common thing? How many views does it have? It has 250. Wait, this happened 5 days ago. What? I thought this happened 2 years ago. You're telling me? Okay, let me pull some up, right? Take a look at this. 5 days ago, right? Okay. So it's 2025. Big 2025. You know, 5 days ago, by the way, 5-5. Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. It just needs to have a 5 in here, so it would be 5-5s. Anyways, distracted. Okay, because 5-5s means nothing. Anyways, the point is, right? Big 2025, 5 days ago, right? And the highest quality from ABC7, not 5, is, guess what? It's 360p. No other options. It can't even go lower. That's how you know it's bad. Like, how are you messing up that bad on quality as a news, and whatever it's called, news channel, right? Like, you can't even go to 144. They don't even give you the option, the luxury of going to 144p. What if your phone is destroyed? I actually used to have a person who watched me. I think oh yeah, it was Pancake Boy, right? Back, anyone knows he used to say, "Oh, the videos, I can't watch your streams unless it's 144p because my phone is so trash." By the way, if that's the situation, why do you have a phone at all? But top 5 Yas sessions. All right, bro. That's why they're not the first ABC. What does that even mean? Maybe their source is only 360p. Oh, okay. Yeah, see this, and then I immediately get disproven. Okay, yeah, so this is why I'm stupid. This is why worst reactor in the world award goes to me. How many times am I going to say that? You know what? I'm just going to say that every video, because you know what? Everyone in the comments is just like, oh, yeah, your worst reactor. Guess what? Screw you. Stay on topic challenge. Impossible, bro. Okay. Okay, bro. Anyways, I know what's the promise.
Before.
I've never seen him before. Ever.
Do you know her?
Put your head up and look at her.
You know what? This is kind of racist. I'm not even gonna explain it. Because if I explain that, I'm gonna look like a racist. I was just gonna move on from that. Skip.
She had stolen almost immediately.
I see the problem is I know the story. So basically, that's a fake. That's a random body. Wait, no, that's... Okay, so what happened here, because I know the story, because I'm just gonna skip through all this. Basically what happened is the undercover cop that she told that she was gonna assassinate her husband to that guy, and then the police acted like he already committed the assassination attempt actually, but he didn't because the husband's still alive. They just told the husband to evacuate the house, and here's the recording, obviously, of him heard saying
I need
this.
the money from you. I went, I grabbed it right away, like we were good to go. Like with me, you're not gonna have a problem, you're not gonna have an issue.
And so the Boynton Beach Police Department, they have all this information about what Dahlia thinks is going to happen, and they decide they can use this information to set her up in the most elaborate.
Yeah, I feel bad that I rewatched this video. I ruined the whole reaction, but that's okay. I didn't watch it though. I just know about it. It's like one of the most like known like stories I feel like from the police. So if you don't know about this story, I mean, you get spoiled, I guess. Well, okay, that's a stupid sentence because it's getting spoiled as it's being told. You know, kind of
got ready
situation.
to film what happened next.
Listen, we
And
had
then
a
fake
report of a
crying.
disturbance at your house, and there were shots fired.
Bro, by the way, do you ever just randomly like shed a tear? Okay, I know this is like really random, but like, dude, I remember I had a problem like a couple months ago. I started shedding tears in stream for no reason. Like I was just like, you know, minding my business. And next thing I shed a tear, and I was like, what's happening? Anyways, so maybe that's how you how do you fake cry? Just think of your grandma dying. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you think of like, hey, my friend died in an accident that's so severe. Maybe he got assassinated by a military member, and now he's spray painting every single house with his initials. So now I'm remembered for permanent. That's probably, yeah, that's pretty sad. Was it salty or sweet? Okay.
Fired. Is your husband Michael? Okay, I'm sorry to tell you, man. He's been killed. He's been killed, man. I'm sorry. Listen. No. Try to calm down.
Alright, I've had enough of this video. Okay, see, this is the problem. I look over. Oh no. I look over to my right, and I see how long I've been streaming for. 61 minutes. I turned a not even 22, like a maybe 20-minute reaction, a 20-minute video max, like into a full-on hour-long reaction somehow. I don't even know how it's possible. Yeah, great video by the way. Yeah, good. I like it. Yeah.